Good evening, everyone. What's up? Sorry, turned off your music selection. Everybody doing okay?
Doing good, doing good.
Amazing. Well, I love to get started with something for you guys to share. So there's typically one thing that you did amazing this week, whether it was small or big. So please share it.
I'll say ladies first.
Anything small or big. So we typically get things started out every single week with something small or big. And small to you could be I returned a phone call. I got up out of depression, whatever it is. I want you to just share that with us, because as we go into our talk today, I want you to realize everything journeys up to the big things. So it has to start with something small. Gerald, I don't have the ability to do that on here on the recording. Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I'll start.
I was going to say I'll start.
So go ahead.
He said ladies first, so go ahead, Lenny.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so it's been, what is it? 2 weeks? Going on 3 weeks, and I have been posting strong. So
posting what?
Oh, yes.
You have to share what you've been posting.
Yes. So my name is Lenise Sudds, and I help caregivers and nurses earn additional income, for themselves. So I have been posting about my businesses on Facebook, Instagram, what else? All of the sites. So that's been amazing. And so I'm really diving in with both feet.
So you're diving in, meaning you were not doing the postings before, but you're now posting consistently so that you can attract the right people through your social media pages. Yes?
Correct.
All right. I love it.
Yes.
So how do you think that that's a small thing or a big thing?
I think it's a big thing. It's huge.
It's a big thing.
There is a lot that goes into that. Well, it's a lot that goes into a lot of thought I put into it. So I feel like it's huge.
Big. That's big for me. That's big for me because I saw your page before. So when we analyze it and take a look at where you were before versus 3 weeks now, your page is amazing. Your confidence has come through. You are letting people know what you do. And I love it. So I'm proud of you. I'm always looking at your page. There's a video. There's another one. So now the algorithm sees you, girl. The algorithm is like, she's in the trenches. So she said yes to herself, you guys.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lorie, for all your help.
You're welcome. Marketing friend. I am your marketing friend. So for those that may not know, I am Lorie Woodruff. I am a real estate entrepreneur and marketing coach, business coach in the Maryland and DC area. And I love to help entrepreneurs and realtors market their brand online. So as Lenise had stated, she's one of my clients that's actually been using that content that I help her with her pages to get more noticeability on her pages. So that is something that you'd like to get a little bit closer to. Definitely we can connect after this interview. And a little bit later in the week, we can just talk a little bit more about what we can do to help market your brand online. You are the brand. Don't forget that. You are the brand, not your company. You are the brand. You are the company. So don't forget that. Okay. So I wanted to welcome everybody that is on Instagram, Wisdom, out there in Zoom. Thank you guys for tuning in every single Tuesday. I like to bring you guys an intelligent conversation with some great friends, smart friends of mine that have something to share of value. Many of you are entrepreneurs already in business. Many of you are just getting started. And this is a way to get the mind connected to the money. So tonight's topic is going to be no different. I'm definitely going to make sure that we journey along this together. And I have some notes certainly that I want to make sure that I'm sharing for my personal group of individuals as well, as we talk tonight about confidence, how to boost your confidence and close more deals. And I actually had the pleasure of talking to Natasha Paris 6 years ago on this same topic. We were just joking and just said, wow, it was 6 years ago. She was on Lorie TV, which was the same platform on YouTube though. And we were talking about closing deals. And so it really has to do with boosting everything from inside out. So winning in business is not always equated to material things or money. It's having a clear path of confidence and self-assurance. The reality is winning is a total package starting from within. Once this is understood, closing more deals is very possible. So tonight, I wanted to introduce Natasha Paris St Amand, also known as Natasha Paris for short. She is the Empowerment Strategist who's going to talk to us tonight. She inspires and encourages everyone, especially women, to become the best version of themselves. She provides individuals with the tools necessary to command attention, stand proudly, generate amazing income streams, become leaders, and use that leadership to empower everyone around you. Natasha is a native of Brooklyn, New York, and born to Haitian parents. Now she currently resides in Northern Virginia with her 2 children. She has a background in makeup artistry, styling, etiquette training, which I love, and psychology. For the past 24 years, she has been a licensed mental health therapist. So in addition, she supported individuals up and down the East Coast with various workshops and with boosting their emotional health, and exposes them to opportunities to generate extra sources of income. So today I wanted to bring along someone who is helping us from within so that we can help see what can be exposed without. So I wanted to introduce my friend, Natasha, the Empowerment Strategist, etiquette coach, mental therapist, anything else. She's going to help us really guide us to that path of being the best version of ourselves. So Natasha, are you here?
I am here. I am here. Super excited. That is
I've never seen this woman upset. I always see this woman, not to say that she doesn't have bad days. We all have those days, but I love her spirit. So I want to welcome you, Natasha. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much, Lorie. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great. I can hear you really good.
Yeah, I'm doing amazing. And let me just say this. Thank you so much for that warm introduction, because I mean, we've known each other for some time. When I moved to this area, you were one of the first that interviewed me as the etiquette trainer at the time. And I mean, it was super amazing. And of course, let's give it back. Miss Lorie Woodruff, who is amazing in what she does. She's always inspiring, always assisting people. Her job is to be that support, and she definitely lives up to it. So I want to give it right back to you.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. So let's rewind. The etiquette training was the one that got it for me. I remember seeing you in action when you were talking with a group of young women, and you were really coaching them on how to present themselves.
Yes.
At a business interview, just out in public, and just really that was the thing that wowed me. So not that everybody is a teenager on here, but tell me a little bit about that etiquette training that you've had in the past.
Okay, so, and I still do it, actually. I still do it. I've just combined it with a few things. And so as an etiquette trainer, I actually started my career, and you said it in my bio, as a stylist, as a makeup artist. I was in the fashion industry for just as long, I would say almost 28 years. And I was living that life in tandem with the psychology piece. And so I actually, assisted individuals from celebrities to regular day folks who said, I want to get a job, or I just feel like I'm not where I need to be, and I need to develop levels of confidence. And so one of the things that I've often talked about is when I do etiquette training, because I used to work with Miss Black USA, pageant girls, things of that nature. And what I often say is that your nonverbal speaks a lot greater, and it has more volume than what you say out of your mouth. I mean, according to researchers, they say 65 to 70% of nonverbal is what is heard first and is also lasting when you meet an individual for the very first time. So my etiquette training has really, I've worked with, like I said, pageant girls to celebrities to men, women, children, teenagers. I just finished a programming, which it was professional etiquette training and leadership. So I combined those, and it was youth in Ward 7 and Ward 8 through the Department of Employment Services. And they were with me for 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and we were getting them.
That's it?
Yes. What was that?
That's it?
That's it. What?
It was just 2 weeks?
I know we were like, it was so much
Need some more time.
So much content for 2 weeks, right? And they were still like, I want more.
I can see that.
So I have 100 participants that I have to work with, and it was the first cohort. So I still have 3 more cohorts to go through.
Good. I love it. So when you're doing these etiquette training, are you doing anything for young professionals or professionals like us in our age group?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so the first cohort were for students who were 16 through 21. Now, my second cohort is going to be for individuals from 21 to 55, right? Okay. So it's from literally, it runs the gamut. But when we're talking about adults, even as I do etiquette training because I did an etiquette programming for Department of Non-Employment Services, Human Resources. And they had individuals who were either, I believe it was ages 25 or 35 to 65. And getting them back into the workforce and getting them feeling confident and what are the things that they need to do. And so with your community that you're supporting as it relates to real estate agents and individuals who are going out there and really putting their best foot forward, because remember, and you really rang a bell when you said, it is not so much about your product or the service that you deliver, but it's about you. You are the brand.
That's right. You show
up. How do you polish that? How do you polish that brand that allows people to say, you know what, there's something about you. I don't know if you're selling ice and you're in Alaska, I want to buy it.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
So for that group, because we're talking tonight really to entrepreneurs, we're talking to those that's just starting in business, those that have been in business, and how do you close more deals when it comes to confidence? So, when I take a look at, I was talking to a friend of mine over the weekend, and he shared some news with me, Natasha, that said, for 30 years, I've been dealing with depression. 30 years. And he still showed up for work, still showed up. And when you see someone that's gone through depression, you think they're dragging their head or you think they're sad or crying, but anyone who's dealing with depression or anxiety, they're not going to perform at their peak performance, so making money and closing deals is not going to work. So how do you get to that person who might be thinking I'm suffering with depression, and how do I start to, boost myself up to get back in the workforce? How do you address that person?
Well, you asked the right questions, right? Because I'm also a licensed clinician, a mental health therapist. And that is what I really, it's intertwined in everything that I do, because what I often realize is that there are people who are dealing with, whether it's trauma or they've dealt with some grief and loss, or their life is not where they want it to be, right? And so that carries on, and it shows up sometimes visibly or, invisible, right, behind closed doors. And it really dictates how they show up in the world, right? Are they showing up boldly? Are they showing up with a high level of confidence? You can see it in the way they walk, the way that they talk, the way that they speak.
Right.
And so when you're dealing with someone that may have been, who are dealing with either depressive symptoms, one of the things that I often say is that they have to deal with those things first.
Right. Whatever it is. Because sometimes they don't know. Like my friend had mentioned, he says, well, what if you're born with it and that's just what it is? And I said, that's not it. It has to do with your environment.
Well, you know what? I mean, there are lots of factors that contribute to individuals. If we're using depression as an example, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking about depression, we know that there's some psychological factors. I mean, it relates to, physiological factors where there's some, the brain is not producing enough of those hormones, right, to elevate their mood, right? It can, which can also be genetic, right? But it can also be learned behavior, a trauma that they've endured. It's a number of like 4 or 5 different contributing factors that can contribute to that, but you don't have to be it.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't have to stay there.
You don't have to stay there. But more than anything else, you need to get help to get to the root of it, because oftentimes people put on the mask, right?
Yeah.
They wear the mask, and Lord knows I'm very animated, right? They put on the mask and then
all week.
And then and they pretend that everything is great, but then when they go home, they're like,
exactly.
And
that's the part that that's the invisible part. So you don't know how to help that person, because when they show up, they're fine. They're joking, or they're being, they're just integrating with everybody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So your question is, what do? You actually deal with what's causing it, right?
Yeah.
And I often say, as a licensed clinician, right, I often say that it's so important for you to seek help. Seek help to deal with, whether it is at your church, whether it is an online counseling, platform like, BetterHelp.com, right? There's so many online platforms where you can actually, check off what is it that you're looking for, and then partner up with someone that can at least help you deal through those and get to the root of it, so you can be your best version of yourself.
Right. I love it. And even with that conversation, he was sharing a few things with me. And I know I've gone through depression before, and I didn't know what it was. So it's not something where I woke up and said, I'm depressed. I didn't know that's what it was until I talked to someone, until I'm sitting on that couch and she was asking me specific questions. When I got home, that's when I identified, you know what? I'm not feeling well because I'm not surrounded by what I need to be surrounded by to get me to that place. So I learned, get help. If it's grief, if it's anxiety, if it's something that's holding you back from something, I say, do not let that fester, or don't think that, it's going to go away, or I'm just going to sleep in tomorrow. It's going to go away. It's not going to go away until you address it. So I would just say, anybody that is in need of that, I love BetterHelp, because that's on an app, right? Where you can at least talk to somebody on the phone.
You can. I actually worked for them for about 2 years. And I mean, there are people from all over the world that you can seek, and that's receiving help. And so you could do it on the phone, you could do it on a Zoom call, you could do I mean, there's so many different platforms, but get help so you can get to the root of it. And it's an ongoing process, right? Because life is not easy.
Right. Especially now, it's a lot of things coming left and right, and to stay in it, it's healthy. And I think in the African-American community, it's almost taboo to go to get counseling. But I think now with a lot more people going through COVID and going through isolation, it's very healthy and necessary to sit and make that appointment and go on a regular basis.
Yes, absolutely.
You feel better. I don't know, often I went, and I think for me, network marketing saved my life. Network marketing saved my life. And I got started in 2010 in network marketing. And I was still working in the mortgage business, still in real estate as well. But network marketing exposed me to people who were moving up. They were making positive decisions. They were making money, and no one was hating on one another. And so I like that. So, and I mentioned that in my book, Unleash Your Irresistibility. That network marketing saved my career, saved my life personally, because depression was there during that time. But because I was surrounded by those people that were progressing, that was the environment that I needed to get out. So I'm not in anything like that today, but I still am surrounded by groups that I'm hungry for. So where do you go right now to feed your soul, to feed you, Natasha, so that you can stay on top of your game?
Well, like you, I know network marketing is the best way to do business in this day and age. It is true, because there's so many benefits as it relates to the community in which you are a part of, the motivation that you receive, the constant self-development that you're getting, right? The training. And so being a part of a community, because once you leave college or high school, those fraternity sororities or those clubs, you don't get that after that.
You don't ever get that.
You don't ever get it, right? But now you're with like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Everyone is on their game, or at least trying to. So that being a part of a community is one. Okay. For me, also having a daily method of operating. EMO.
Talk about it. What do you do?
Every day to get you ready for the day ahead. And for me, I wake up at 6 a.m. Between 6 and 6:30. I sit in bed and I meditate. I pray. I stretch. And then I'm at the gym. And so I work out 5 days a week.
Guys, and she looks amazing. You go to her Instagram page, she's going to floss a little bit about the body. You look amazing, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm in the company of amazing individuals, especially with that red lip. She always does that great red lip.
I want to get that bikini body like you have.
Stop.
Go ahead.
But
we have friends on the line. Sorry about that.
No, I love it. I love this. Okay, and so the reason why I work out, thank you so much. The reason why I work out is not so much from, losing weight and things of that nature. It is primarily for my mind. It is for the vitality of my mind. Because as an entrepreneur, and I have been for the past going on 7 years, and I'm a mom of 2, divorced mom of 2. And then I have other responsibilities, right? I'm keeping my mom and just a number of other things. And I have a social life. In order for me to do the things that I need to do, I have to be clear-minded.
Got it.
And that comes through me working out and getting that adrenaline rush.
Good.
And not just that, but also the hormones and getting the energy to do that. So I have a daily method of operating every morning.
Y'all got that, right? So it's a method. There's not going to be someone knocking at your door or someone on Channel 5 giving you the regimen. This is a daily process of what you have to do personally to get yourself ready for the day. And I mean, for you to get up and get to work and deal with the people and the drama outside, you've got to protect your mind. You've got to protect your ear gates, your eyes. You got to protect you before the day starts. So there's no BS that can even come at you when you get yourself grounded like that. So yeah, I do the same thing. I have a journal that before I even start working, I don't feel comfortable of even typing on any of computer or getting online until I get to my book and I write today's date. What are 5 things at the top that I plan to do? First thing is I tell myself how I plan to feel. Be happy, loving, supportive, rich, employed. All of that is my number 1. So I'm already telling myself how to feel. Imagine if you just tell yourself, I plan to feel happy today. I'm not going to be sad. I'm not going to be overwhelmed, because some of y'all call me and like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I got all this to do. So what if you just told yourself how you're going to show up today? Plan to be happy. Number 2 is, how much money do I plan to receive in my Chase business account? Natasha, I'm saying $1 million.
Absolutely.
Because deposits are coming. You don't know what God has for you today. So I'm just letting him know I'm looking for money. I'm looking for money. And the other 3 things may just be some miscellaneous things I need to get done in my work. And then below that, Natasha, you've seen The Secret, the movie.
Oh, yes.
I know you've seen it. So if you've seen The Secret, you understand how gratitude plays into everything that you're doing today and how you receive what you get or what you don't receive today. So under the 5 intentions of what I plan to do, Natasha, I will write 10 things that I'm grateful for. I'm so happy and grateful now. So those are the things when I do get on coaching calls with individuals and, just in some of our other teaching classes, those are the things I share with them so that before you can get to the money, you got to get this right. And that is a daily piece that you have to do every single day. By the time I finish that, I read. I'm not going to say I stretch every day, but I do get my mind right. And then I'm basically in a bubble where I'm not going to say the curse word like I want, but I'm untouchable. I'm untouchable mentally throughout the day because I just told myself I'm going to be happy. So there's no BS that's going to come my way. Yeah. All right. So those are that's the secret right there, guys. Before we can talk about money, we don't have any magic pill on a .com that's going to close more deals for you. We're talking about getting your inner work done first so that the outer work will just appear. All right. It will appear itself. So so tell me, 7 years ago, you had entered into network marketing for the first time?
Yes.
How was that for you?
It was, and I still am. It's amazing. And I'm going to say this, for the very first time, I was like, everyone's so excited.
I know, right?
And it's just like, wait, okay, what's going on? Okay. And I am so grateful for that experience, and this experience in the teams that I've built, and still with the same network marketing organization. And so how is it for me? I'm gonna say this: I will never go anywhere else as it relates. It's going to always be in my portfolio, because one thing's for sure, right? You can get to a goal if you do it by yourself a lot faster, right?
Yeah.
However, when you go with a group of people, you go with them and you'll get there farther and you'll last longer.
That's true. That's true.
Right?
You have the motivation, you got the accountability around you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then also the act of helping individuals help their families, right? So it no longer becomes about you. Right. It's about being able to assist others get what they want. Because if you give people what they want, you will always get what you want.
That's a law. That's a law.
That's a universal law all the way through.
So tell me about the company that you chose. I mean, we're not recruiting or not.
No, absolutely. Okay, so the company that
you chose, that you liked.
The company that I chose is Novetica, and we are a pet company, and we provide health and wellness for animals, particularly dogs. And
did you see that?
Say that again.
Did you see that happening like 6 years ago?
I'm sorry.
Getting into pets. From etiquette to pets.
No, not at all. Not at all. I I knew of the owner of the actual company,
Yep.
and he recruited me himself. And so his name is Lance London. Some of you may know of him if you're in the
Yep.
DMV. He actually
Definitely.
is also the owner and the creator of the Carolina Kitchen.
I remember.
And so he has a pet company, and we've been doing really well because we've gotten into an industry where people love their pets. They love their dogs.
Oh, I love my Winnie.
Okay. They're willing to do whatever that it takes to keep them healthy because they want them around, right? And there's that emotional connection that is currently present for them, right? And so, you know, it's just amazing what we're doing. And as a brand, because I'm not a pet professional, what I do know is that my goal is not to just empower women and individuals, but to empower them so they can empower everything around them. Right. Because the ultimate goal is to give, it's not necessarily to feed people, right? Yes, we want to do that, but you want to teach people how to feed themselves.
Right. I love it. How could you guys, you could be around Natasha all day, just talk about anything. But then again, I remember when you first got started, because network marketing was new for you. But I think as you took that mindset of where you were and just moved that along. Doesn't matter any network marketing company that you choose. It could be selling vitamins. For me, it was credit repair back in 2010-ish. It was around that time. Hers industry was for pets. So it doesn't matter the industry. Love what you do. Fall in love with what you do, but just fall in love with the process of being a better person first. And then know that as I'm going through this process, I'm helping a lot of people. And in turn, I'm closing more deals by default, because that's, you know, doesn't matter. Some people just give network marketing a horrible name because of the way that they exude it out in the public. So, you know, that's just something I commend you on, that you just kind of merged everything that you've already done with your current life and just parked it into something that makes sense. And people love you and they're going to attach to whatever you're doing because they trust you.
Yes, you know, and I thank you for that, you know, for that, those kind words. And that's the thing, is trust. So look, guys, you know, I like cameras on, you know, I want to know what I want to keep my finger on the pulse. If your team is hearing this, if this is making any sense to you, put a 1,000 in the chat. Okay. Put a 1,000 in the chat.
They're loving it.
Sense, because the goal ultimately is for you to receive something from this, right? So you can close more deals, so you can walk into this world and say, here I am, and I belong here, right? I belong here. I may not know everyone in this room. I may not know not one person in this room, but because I am here, everything that belongs to me is already mine, right?
And you've seen different parts of network marketing, right? So I've seen all different parts as well. So when you look at someone like yourself, who did you model after that? I want to be like this individual and not like this individual. Who did you model after? Who was that person for you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. In being in network marketing, it took me, and that's the thing, is that learning curve, right? Because so often we're not patient with the process. We say, this is not working, and we drop out, right? We say, oh, I'm not doing this, because we expect to know this like the back of our hand. We may be a CEO in one company or doing our thing and we're having success, but we don't understand is network marketing is an industry that you have to learn, right? And so I had that learning curve, right? So the first 3.5 years, I was learning. I knew how to talk to people, right? Because I'm a social butterfly and I'm a talker. But to build a team and to have them duplicate was a learning process. And so the person, to answer your question, the person that I began to follow and to begin to mimic and really learn the process is a woman by the name of Jessie Lee. I don't know if
Jessie
you know who Jessie
I
Lee.
haven't heard of her. Now we got to check
Oh
her
my
out.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Jessie Lee, she is she's a multi millionaire earner, and she is she doesn't even promote her company, but you see her doing her stuff. Her company is Prove It, and she has she's a white girl from what's that part of Maryland? Oh my gosh, it just escapes me that quickly.
I'm Jessie. I'm in Maryland.
Yeah, Jessie Lee. Okay. And her name is Jessie Lee. You just look her up, Jessie Lee.
We'll look her up.
Yeah, Jessie Lee. And when I tell you, she is a teacher. She's all over the place as it relates to podcasts, as it relates to social media, TikTok. I mean, but her goal is to teach.
That's it. There, you said it. You said it right there. Instead of just give or spit up information, teach, drop value. That's the main thing.
Yeah, Boss Lee is her hashtag. And so I started following her, and I started mimicking a lot of what she does as it relates to giving value.
I love that. I love that part. That's right. That's one thing I do share with a lot of people when they're marketing out here. Don't just give the facts. Don't just give the facts. Tell me, how is this helping someone? Do testimonials, things like that, so that people can actually see and get connected to you.
Yes.
I love that. You set it up in a button right there.
She does. And then you have the grit and grime of Stormy Wellington, right? You have her, just how her tenacity to keep to move forward, and then when you ask the question, who do I not want to mimic? I mean, I think that network marketing has had a bad name because of people don't understand. It's like, they're just trying to shove information and trying to get you to buy something down your throat without really developing a relationship. And Jessie Lee talks about that. People will do business with people they like, they know, they like, and they trust.
That's right. All day. And they have to see you over and over again. So one of the things I know with what turned me off about the network marketing game was, and I'll give you my answer too, as far as who I looked up to and who it's not a person, but the type of person that I wouldn't ever want to do business with. Derek Smith, many of you may know him out here in this area. He is a baller with everything. Derek Smith taught me how to hustle with class, but he also told me how to teach. And he was my first introduction to network marketing. And he really didn't make it seem so network marketing-ish, if you know what I mean. So he really came from a spirit of giving, which I loved. And that resonated with me. The ones that didn't resonate with me were the ones with the flashy cars and look what I got. Here's the compensation plan very quickly. And they didn't really connect with me. They just got through 10 slides and that was it. 10 slides on a presentation, that was. So that's the type of person that you don't want to be to try to close deals. So I say all that just to say, you nailed it, girl. When you said everything right now is about connection. It's about relationships. It's about, do I trust you? Can I see you online? I see Natasha online just about every time I open up my mobile device. So she's present and she's giving inspirational value. People need that right now. Even if you were just to go the inspirational route and just tell people, have an amazing day. Like, I know it sucks out here, but get up, get your ass up, wipe, brush, and let's go. Like, if you just did that kind of thing every day, you would get a connection with someone. So I commend you of just wrapping it up with that, with not wrapping it up, but putting it together with connection matters, really matters. Does everybody understand that? How many of y'all have seen the network marketing that you didn't like? Right? You've seen it, right? And I wanted to do, Natasha, I wanted to do a parody on it so bad, but I'm like, I'm not going to do it because the people in my industry would be like, girl, why would you do that? I'm like, no, because I really want to shout out the ones that just busting it up, doing a horrible job. So I'll say
Sure, people need to see it so they see that. No, because I mean, and they'll see,
that's good.
again, that's a teachable moment, right? That's what you're
Yeah.
teaching them not to do.
It is.
But then it's entertaining while being educational.
It is. You know, I'm going to make it as entertaining as possible.
I'm sure you
So
will.
how do you, so throughout the day, we see in the morning how you get your mind together, physically how you get together, but also like how many conferences and things, like how else do you stay inspired so that you can stay on top of your game with work? How else do you stay inspired?
Well, you know what? Oh my goodness, right? So I got a couple of things that I do. All right. So, and this is Jessie Lee. Like she talks about it and I'm like, okay, I'm taking notes and I'm doing it, right? Go into action. Don't let it sit there and just marinate or just fester, right? You want to take action, right? Those who take action the fastest will get faster results, right? You got to just jump in. So what do? Audiobooks. Okay. I'm big on audiobooks, right? Because reading is definitely fundamental, and gaining knowledge is very important, because especially if you're going on live, right? If you want to do live, you want to be able to have information in which to share with individuals, right? So you want to go live, and well, we'll talk about that. But audiobooks is what I do. I read as well. I read the Bible a whole lot because I am an empowerment strategist. And so my goal is to empower you. So, you know, I'm going to take scriptures from that. In addition to that, I do lots of professional development. We're talking about YouTube. Right now, I am in this course. It's called Unbreakable. Oh my goodness, it's Grant Cardone is a 5-day challenge. Are you familiar with
me, CD Jakes? No. Mm-mm.
Yes. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, I'm sure.
It started today. Grant Cardone broke it down about money mindset. Okay. It's like, I mean,
he's got all the powerhouses on there.
Yes, yes. So I'm on there. I said, you know, there's so many free stuff. I mean, of course, they want to upsell you in some things, and things you can benefit right from it. If you want to take your brand to the next level, you're going to have to make investments in yourself.
Yeah. Charles has said, do you have any books that you would mention?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. All right. The Science of Getting Rich. Rich Man, Poor Dad, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Poor Dad.
Okay.
Definitely read that.
Oh my goodness, I have a lot. I'm gonna pull up my audiobook. Okay.
I got one, The 4-Hour Work Week. If you guys have not done that yet, simplifying how much time you really BS and really can get stuff done.
Yes, absolutely. And the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Covered.
Okay. That's a good one. The other one is Go for No.
Go for No. And anything by John Maxwell, if you were in leadership. Anything and everything with John Maxwell.
Yes, yes. Anything and everything with John Maxwell. And then also, you know, personal branding strategies. That's another one. And then also there's a gentleman by the name of Fraser Brooks. Fraser Brooks, he has podcasts. He's from the UK. And he talks about social media branding, social media, because everything is on social media, really, right? Fraser Brooks is amazing, you know, and he talks about, because you have to be up to date on what's going on in social media. Whether it comes to reels, lives, things of that nature. So, I mean, so when it comes to books, TD Jakes, you know, inspirational, you know, the hip hop preacher. He's not a pastor, but we're talking about, you know,
this book just came out as well.
Which one?
Eric Thomas. So he just came out. Andrew had said the one thing got me focused.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
The One Thing by Gary Keller.
Oh, okay. I've heard of it. I have not read that book.
And especially if you are a Keller Williams agent, which I am a returning Keller Williams agent now, real estate. That's one of the books that they really want you to read is The One Thing. Because a lot of entrepreneurs are doing, I can do nails, I can do body wraps. I can sell real estate. Oh, I can even fix your car on the side. So they're doing all these multiple things, but the one thing shows you, what are you known for? What are you known for? That one thing. What is that one thing that people know you for? So that's one thing that people can help with trust. But yeah, books, audios, whatever it is, do it and do it daily. Even if it is some audio pieces that you can put in the car, if it's something that you can do, because think about the journey of just going from here to work or going from here to your next appointment. That could be 20 minutes that you could just be listening to something of value. Sometimes when I'm going to work, I have some coaching clients in Virginia. So I'm like, look, if I have to go to Ashburn or if I have to go to Arlington, that's at least 45 minutes in the car. Guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to YouTube and I'm looking to feed this, because it's something that's going to help me with my business anyway. So continuously turn the radio off, turn the YouTube on, or put something in there of value that you can at least get some notes, and learn. Even at nighttime, I'm like, okay, what can I look at YouTube? What can I learn tonight before I go to bed? So
can I also just add really quickly, Lorie?
Sure.
One of the things that I'm learning and I have been practicing and I'm realizing that it really is super helpful is, one of the things, how they often say you can read one book and have 3 or 4 different, the perfect thing to do is get 3 books, right? If you're going to read a book, you can get 3 books for the 3 months, right? And reread it at least 3 times.
Because how many times do we actually finish the book?
But the thing is that when you first read the book, you don't pick up the gems as
right.
quick.
That's true.
Right? But when you read it a second time or you listen to it a second time, you're like, oh. And write when you're reading, when you're listening, take notes, because it is then when you're taking notes that you're actually able to process.
Right. Your mind is a recorder. So a lot of times people take notes on their phone. Stop getting in practice of that. If you really want to absorb the information, write it down, because that is recording for your mind.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So thinking about that person that may be going from being an employee to jumping into entrepreneurship, I think we covered it, but is there anything else that person might need mental wise to get themselves together for that type of transition?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
For someone that wants to transition from being an employee to being an entrepreneur, what do they need to do to get themselves mentally prepared for that?
Well, one thing's for sure is you want to be realistic about transitioning from a 9-to-5er to an entrepreneur.
Right.
First things first is that you're not going to have anyone telling you what to do. Right. You're going to have to be a self-starter.
Right.
You're going to have to, so 3 things. You're going to have to learn to be a self-starter. Second thing is you're going to have to not just be a self-starter, but you're going to have to, in relation to what we were saying, you're going to have to go after knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
And then 3, you want to be connected to other individuals who are also entrepreneurs.
Right.
Are doing this, right? Because they can continue to motivate you. And also you won't feel like you're doing something wrong. And let me just say this, if you're an entrepreneur, understand that it is not Starbucks and slippers and you're in your PJs all day.
I mean, I do have my slippers on, but I'm not busting out $7 for coffee every day.
Right. But the reason, and I say it from the perspective that there are people that believe that, I wake up at 1 in the afternoon and I go to sleep at 8. And it's just that you have to be better at managing your time to get a lot of work done. So you can still get rest and still enjoy your family and things of that nature. So managing time is a big one too. I forgot that's a 4th one.
And being an employee actually teaches you a lot about discipline of your time. Whether if you love it or not, some people need that structure. I know I do. So it's very hard for me just to work at home. I have to leave and go to the office where I have people there. But that's a discipline that you get by being an employee first, because you have to show up on time. You know, you have breaks at a certain time. You leave at a certain time. That's not the case when you jump into entrepreneurship. So looking at how can I close more deals, it takes discipline first and foremost, so that you getting up at a certain time, you're taking a break at a certain time and bringing your ass back at a certain time. And then of course, finishing the day. So yeah, it's a lot to do with discipline, personal development. How do you get to the 6 and 7 and 8 figures? It's possible, but any wealthy individual that you speak to, whether it's Natasha, whether it's you guys that you know, the personal people in your circle that you know, it's going to boil down to, what did it take? It took discipline. It took discipline and the consistency of doing the steps that we just shared with you, the morning rituals, and just making sure you stay inside of personal and professional development. Like during COVID, Natasha, I craved getting out because I'm a social butterfly too. So I'm just like, I'm making videos on just silly stuff, right? And so I'm just like, I need to get out of, I need to be around people. So during times that you can share now, where would you suggest physically, because we can get out now, where would you suggest people go so that they can start networking with like-minded people?
Well, you know, I mean, of course, times have changed since COVID. It's changed so much. And so I would honestly say, you know, I often say Eventbrite, you know, becomes your best friend, right? You know, because of the mere fact that it keeps you up to date on all of the different events that are happening around the city, around the DMV. And there are lots of free events and networking events. So I think that would be one. The second thing is also is having an event yourself. Why not be the host, right? I say,
Why wait? Make your own event.
Have your own event, and you can, and that is an opportunity for people to see you as a leader.
Right, that's true.
As a leader, like you're having an event, you're setting up a networking event or just a meet and greet, people will come, right? And, you know, even if it's 5 or 6 people, that gives you the opportunities to, you know, be that confident person, right? It gives you opportunity to also not just be confident, but to also be able to verbalize and be able to be a social butterfly if you're an introvert, right? Yeah. You know, but then also
from behind the computer.
Right. And then also in addition to that, you have an opportunity to connect with individuals who get to know you, know you and like you and trust you.
I like that. Lanice is on the line. She is a caretaker and she's also a nurse. So she's transitioning from the regular 9-to-5 hospital drama, and she's working in the capacity of helping nurses and caretakers earn money, make money through home, whatever things can be done digitally. So her transition just made me think about some things, even starting your own event for people in your industry, Lanice, like nurses, for caretakers. They want to get out. They want to get out as well. And so, you know, you guys just think about, what industry are you in? I don't think Eventbrite costs money to post. I think it's free that you can post an event. I think that's still free.
It is free. It is.
Good. So get your own event together and then start just saying, you know what, we're just going to get together. I don't care. Like if Natasha said, just have 5 people show up. That's when I say those are what wins did you get? That's a win, because that next month that you do that same networking event for people in your industry, they come out, they're looking for you, and you guys are having different topics. Now, next month is 15 people. Yeah. So just start thinking, if you're in real estate, if you're in network marketing, do it as a soft open where it's just, let's get together. Let's get together and let's just, you know, see where this goes. Have some direction, of course, of what you want to do, but certainly start thinking, what can we do to get out and create our own event so that we can be around more like-minded people? Strategize. There's going to be someone else in the room. There's going to be a Natasha in the room. There's going to be a Lanice in the room. There's going to be an Andrew, a Charles. There's going to be someone in the room that you've got to connect to answer the question on your business. So just wanted to wrap it up with a couple of things I can quickly ask you, if that's okay.
Of course.
Did you guys have any questions for Natasha? I hope this gave you some inspiration to get a different path started for 2023. You can unmute yourself or you can ask a question. Yeah, any questions that you have for her, because she's got some gifts that she wanted to share with you about her book that just came out as well. Good.
Any questions? I'm
Wow. I think they're pretty good on points.
I thought I heard someone ask or say something.
Okay. Well, while
I have a question. This is Lanice. So my question to you is, I understood that you're a mom and you're balancing, taking care of your loved one. And so my question to you is, how do you balance all of those things? Like, because you spoke to time management and you spoke to getting up really early and all these other things. So it's always good to know. I'm kind of like in the same situation. And so it's just good to hear your advice on how you handle some of those challenges.
You know what, Lenise, thank you so much. That's a great question. I get that question quite often. They're like, how do you put all of that into time? All right. So one of the things that I would honestly say is that it's important to write down what it is. What are your big goals? What are the things that you want to accomplish for that week, if not that day? And so for me, I plan my day. I have a calendar. I put everything as something as my son has track, like he has a track meet. I write that in my calendar to the point where I say, okay, my son has to track meet at 6. This is what I'm going to do. I have to take my mom to the doctors. So this is what I have to do. Like everything is in a calendar and it's scheduled. Okay. The time that I'm going to break down when I'm going to start making dinner, and I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to make dinner for my kids. Right. So everything is definitely scheduled. And then two, I put a shutdown on things, right? As it relates to, this is the time that I'm going to turn it off. I'm not going to keep working until midnight if I know I have other things to do, especially if my kids are in need of something. My kids now are 16 and 12. And so they're a little more independent. Right. But I still have to be present for them. And then another thing also, I do get up early. I get up before my kids get up because I have to get my mind right. Because I know once my kids are up, it's mommy, mommy, mom, or mom, 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 right? Depending on which child calls me. My son calls me mom. My daughter still calls me mommy. I think my son is coming through the door right now.
I was about to say, it's kind of quiet over there now.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Sorry about that. And so, my son is a long distance track star, and so he runs like 4 miles a day. So he's like, I know, right? Tell me not.
He's ready to eat.
Exactly. Wash your hands, please. And so with all of that said, I just plan my day, and then more than anything else, I turn it off when it's time. And then I make time for me by getting up early to get my mind right. And it's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. And get help when you need to. So, a lot of times you can't do everything yourself, but shutting things down at a certain time is necessary. Like I get off work at 6 o'clock. That is the latest. And I'm cooking dinner. I'm excited about making dinner, but I'm like you, Natasha, I'm not working till 8, 9 o'clock to midnight, because you can't be at your best when you're tired going to bed and then you wake up tired. Yes. So just make sure that you get that shut off time. If think like an employee, treat it like a job. If you get off at 4:30, then you get off your work at 4:30. That means you got to get yours done by 4:30 so you can check off. watch HGTV, look at a movie, do something else, but your mind has got to be clear and rested going to bed, not watching the news before you go to bed, but looking at something that will help feed your brain. So definitely, Natasha, what I got from that was just schedule things out, get help when you need to in certain areas, because you can't do it all by yourself.
Absolutely. And then another thing also, can I just add that automation? That is very key. You have to automate your life and you have to outsource, right? Because remember, right, we all have the same amount of time that everyone has, from the Tyler Perry's who creates all these shows and movies, and you're like, he has 24 hours just like I do. Like,
he's making movies.
And he's making
and
like,
shows.
how does he do that, right? Like, how does
How does that work?
all of what she does? They outsource.
That's right.
Outsource. So if it's mowing the lawn and you're like, that's going to take me 3 hours,
right?
Use that investment and outsource that, because what can you do outside of those 3 hours if you weren't mowing the lawn? My son has locks, right? I outsource that. It takes too much time for me to twist his lock. You're going to win it. Right. So you're going to, and then also, especially if you're a mom or you're a divorced mom or you're married, whatever, right? It is always great to be in a community of other parents, because then you can find out what other people are doing. And you're like, look, do you mind if you pick up my son from track? Or do you mind if taking my daughter here? Because your kid is there. So being able to ask for help and being in a community of people who are like-minded like you.
That's good. I love it. All these gems she's dropping down.
Yes.
Any other questions, Lanice?
I saw a question, Lanice, and I saw from Andrew. You're the woman, have your, I'm not sure what that means.
Basically, we got our stuff together.
Oh, okay.
He said we got our stuff together. So I wanted to do a lightning round with you, Natasha. If anybody has any questions, definitely just put it in the chat and I'll make sure I get back to it. But I want to just do a lightning round with you. You have no prep, but you know the answers to these questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I love this.
Is your favorite movie?
Avatar.
Avatar. What is your favorite food?
Rice and beans with oh my gosh, red snapper fish.
Ooh, okay. Favorite vacation spot?
The Caribbean. Any place in the Caribbean.
Okay. And your favorite place to live?
New York, where I'm from, Brooklyn.
Of course. Y'all hear the accent, so you know.
Yes.
What makes you angry?
When people misuse, or I should say misuse, abuse children.
Got it. And what makes you laugh?
Lots of things. If you know that I'm a smile and laughter. What makes me laugh? Geez, there's so many things. When my dog does silly things, I mean.
Yeah, I've seen the video.
Yes.
The last thing is, you can't go a day without blank.
Prayer.
Love it. Sounds good. I love it, girl. You did it. Did you all get something from today? See, we didn't have to roll one in the chat. If you can see, you've got some kind of transformation, just like I said, to be your best version of yourself. It takes discipline. Yes. It takes you wanting to do this. It takes you having the ritual every single day, writing what you plan to do, how you plan to feel, how much money do you plan to drop in your account. And guys, no matter where you are financially, no matter where you are mentally, I guarantee you, I can't say that you can heal yourself 100%, but these small steps, these consistent steps will get you closer so that you can close whatever you want with ease. People will trust you. They will love you. They will want to work with you because you got your stuff together. Is it a process? Hell yeah. I still do it every day. Natasha does it every day. So there's no recipe on, okay, by February 1st, we're healed. But if you can see that consistency happening over and over again, Get yourself in front of a community that you can start yourself, or go a part, like she said, of Eventbrite, or if there's a community, there's lots of networking groups in your area. You just need to Google it and find out where they are. There's networking places where you can go, and you'll find, hey, there's nurses out there that talk like me. There's real estate agents that talk and look just like me. There's other network marketers out there that look just like me, and they want to meet with you too. Yep. So I want to thank you very much, Natasha, for blessing us with this, and all of this great knowledge will help. Next week, I actually have a conversation all about depression and anxiety.
And I want to give them the book.
Don't forget the book. Yeah, so please share with them where and what the book is about before we exit out.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, my book, I released on Monday on Martin Luther King
Yes.
Day. Okay, so
Yes.
it was definitely intentional, a day of service, and my job is to be of service to you guys, right? To be of service to you. And so my book is entitled The 7 Key Principles, 7 Keys to Resetting Your Mind, Your Money, and your moods. Okay, your mind as it relates to mental health, very similar to everything that, well, I should say almost everything that we've talked about today. Your money as it relates to how you view money, what have you been taught about money, right? Because in order to receive money, you need to first have a good understanding that it is your birthright to receive it, right? All right, and then your moods, how you walk into the room, your confidence, right? So it's 7 keys to resetting all of that in preparation for this amazing life that you will have as we start this 2023 year. And so they can go to my Instagram, my Instagram, my link tree. You said that you're going to post that.
In the replay, I certainly will, but people can find you on Instagram at Natasha Paris,
Natasha
4.
Natasha Paris for you. So Natasha Paris, like the city, the number 4 and the letter U. Okay. And that's my Instagram. That is also my YouTube page, Natasha Paris for you as well. I'm also on Facebook. I share lots of, information of inspiration and empowerment. And on Facebook, I'm Natasha Paris St Amand, if you can write that in. But yes, and so you can just send me a message. I can actually, as my gift to your viewers and your business partners, Lorie, I will gift them my book.
Okay. Because normally, how much is the book?
Well, for you, it's free. Okay.
It's free. Okay.
It's a gift.
I love it. So can they get that? Are they going to get it in the replay, or how can they get it from you?
So all they will need to do is just follow me and send me a message, and I will email it to them.
Okay. So say I came from the Lorie show. I guess that's all they need to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. There we go. Put in the message, Lorie Woodruff. Yes.
Lorie sent me. What's up with that book? How many pages is it? How many pages is it roughly?
It's about 17. It's an easy read.
I love it. Just shut the front door. See, you get gifts to help you. So I love this. And in the replay, I will make sure that it goes out as well. So you guys make sure that you follow her. I put her Instagram in there. Let me put your Facebook in here just in case I got some Facebookers. Natasha, what's the one for Facebook?
Yes, Natasha Paris, and it's from my full name, St Amand. ST period AMAND.
You sure I spelled it all right? No. Yes. I think I put.
Yeah, so my YouTube is Natasha Paris for you. That's how you find me. That's for Facebook at Natasha. For Facebook is Natasha Paris St Amand, right? So the ST will be separated. The ST like Saint Martin, right? Saint Croix, right?
So let me put in YouTube.
Yes. And please follow me, and I will send you a gift to you as a guest on your show. I thank you so very much for this.
Thank you. That was good. And that may be the one thing that takes somebody to their next level. And that's all we're looking for, is those small steps to make sure that they get a huge impact. So make sure that you guys follow her on any of those channels to get in touch. Just let her know you were on tonight's show, and she will gift you. She will gift it to you. Okay. Free 99 is pretty damn good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice read. You receive it. It's gems. Bum, 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 bum.
We have to network. We still have to network together. So I want to make sure we don't waste another 6 years. We don't wait another 6 years.
I know. We had done some other things prior to after that. We did the release of that, right?
We did. But let's keep things going. I want to thank everybody for joining. You guys, this is all about you. These shows, these topics are all about you, and certainly make sure that you give others value as well. So if there's someone else that you know that could use some marketing tips, business tips, real estate tips, personal development, these kinds of topics are covered. So share this with a friend, and definitely if you are here, make sure that if you have not already subscribed. Oh, don't. Lenise, come on now.
Let's go. Okay.
Right. Just saying.
Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Put a word in my heart. I've been wanting to do an event. So
Lorie, put it down. Don't waste any time any longer. Okay. So let's make it happen.
I'm shy. I don't know.
Now Lorie gets it done. Okay.
I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get that done. So you got
done.
that. If you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed to my Facebook group, which is all about real estate agents and entrepreneurs. Remember, that group is there for you. So if you haven't subscribed already, let me make sure that I got you covered, because that's where a lot of the information is still shared week to week. I'm gonna do one thing at a time. She got me with the empowerment.
Yes, she's on to something, Lenise.
Go to the link tree, and if you haven't already, make sure that you are enrolled. Get access to the Facebook group. You want access in there because you get information on there, and of course the empowerment event first. So make sure that you are in there and sharing your knowledge. Talk about what you do. That is a community. That is actually a community, Natasha, that you may want to get inside, because that is actually going to be the first networking event that I do with Unleash the Entrepreneur Group.
Oh, awesome. Please send me the link.
Yeah, there's over 140 people in there now. So I think it's time that for those that are in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, we get outside.
Let's make it happen.
We get outside. So thank you, Lenise. Thank you, Lenise. Well, thank everybody for making this happen, and we'll see you next week. Next week's topic is going to be another exploding event. It will be me talking about depression, anxiety in the local market of where we are right now, the state of where we are right now. So make sure that you tune in next week, and you guys have an amazing week on purpose. Thank you, Natasha, once again.
My pleasure, guys. Have a great week.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Empowerment. Who she thinks she is?
She's a visionary. That's what it is.
She's good. Good night, everyone.
Good night.